was weak, for all those times when I couldn't speak, for all those for all the Okay, now that I got that in my system. Okay, Recipe for Crazy, welcome. I have a question. How do mentally ill people manage to live their daily lives? I really would like to know. And sometimes I wake up in the morning and I ask myself how I managed to survive up until 33. And it's crazy to think that I have responsibilities and I'm like a human being existing in the world and like I need to like pay my taxes and do stuff. Like, why isn't there a man doing it for me? I need a dad. Okay. I'm going to vent right now. Okay. I need a man to come into my life and just say, don't think, baby. Don't think. Let me do the thinking. You just be you. You just cook and make your little stupid videos and let me do everything. Let me take care of business. Give me your social security number. Give me all your bank login information and let me take care of it. I've got it. I got it from here. Just relax and, suck my dick every few days. No problem. Take your pants down. I'm ready. Okay. That is what I want. I'm so fucking tired of thinking. I'm ready for someone else to do it for me. I think enough. I'm ready to stop. I don't care if it's right or wrong. I don't care if this is sexist or not with the times. I'm not with the times. I'll never be with the times. I don't fucking even care what time it is. I don't want to know the time. I don't want to know the date. I want to be a type of person where they're like, hey, what are you doing today? It's Tuesday. I'm like, what? It's Tuesday? I thought today was Thursday. I don't even want to know the day of the week. That's where I'm at in life. Okay. And it's funny. Like I had a guy over here the other day and we were washing the dishes after we cooked something and he looked at my sponge and he was like, don't tell me this is your sponge. Don't tell me this is your sponge. Yes, it's my fucking sponge. Don't say another word about it. Shut your goddamn mouth. If you want to talk about my sponge, go fucking get me another sponge. Stop stressing me out. Everyone needs to stop stressing me the fuck out. Okay. I already have a million things to do. I'm not going to get a sponge to my list. Okay. I already need to fucking, I'm going up against an alleged rapist. Do you think I care about my sponge? I just lived 2 years of my life with an alleged fucking psychopath. And you're telling me I need to get a new sponge. Get the fuck up. Put your shoes on. Get in your fucking Mitsubishi. Get in your fucking Jeep. Drive to Ralph's and buy me a sponge and bring it back and say, here you go, baby. Don't worry about another thing. If you're not doing that for me, get the fuck out. Now that I've gotten that off my chest, the last 2 episodes, obviously off brand, but completely necessary because people are crazy on these streets. Let me tell you, it's crazy who you let into your body and what they end up doing afterwards. Be careful who you let enter you. Okay? Because, it gets weird. Yeah. So that was wild. That was a crazy caption. What an idiot. I was being very PC in my other 2 episodes, but if I'm being frank, okay, if I'm being Alanna, let me tell you, what a fucking idiot. What a freaking idiot. He could have won. He could have been like, bitch is crazy. Bitch is fucking crazy. And everyone would have been like, yup. Yeah, she must have made everything up, that psychopath. But you just had to go and do something dumb. Whoever told you that was the right idea, fire them. Anyways, you're an idiot. Moving on. 2 weeks ago, I was being wooed and courted by 2 gentlemen who, were relentlessly trying to probably enter my body. Today, as I speak, there are none. Okay. I am totally free. I'm a free bird. I'm a free agent. I'm not even gently having a, courtship conversation with anybody. There's not even little tickling of an inkling of an idea of a potential love interest. Nothing, not a zip. I'm going to tell you what happened. Okay. I'm going to tell you what happened. Here we go. You might have heard some things about some men here and there, videos, old podcasts, but I'm just going to keep it brief for the history. And then I'm going to explain how I'm single now completely. So starting with the kid. The kid is a guy I met on Bumble. He lives in San Diego, but he happened to be in Long Beach when we matched. We hung out multiple times while he was here. He left and then he came to visit me a few weekends, 2 or 3 weekends. He came down from San Diego, stayed with me. We hung out, never had sex. But the dirty talk, baby. Oh my God. Okay. Dripping. You wouldn't want to be within 2 feet of me while I'm reading his text messages because you'd be in the splash zone. It would be dangerous for you. You might need to towel off after. That's disgusting. It makes me want to vomit even saying that out loud. But truth of the matter is, it was a waterfall. I don't think my body has expelled so much liquids since I was crying hysterically when I found out that my ex-boyfriend is an alleged rapist. So it's been a while since your girl has had that much liquid pouring out of her. He was on point with the dirty talk. It was like he knew what I wanted. Like he could read my mind. It was beautiful. Leading up to when we finally saw each other again after all these like heated exchanges, when he came over here, I think I mentioned this in another episode, it was all football. I was drier than the Sahara Desert. It was like, the LA River in my pants. I wasn't into it. When it got down to business, there was just I couldn't get into it. The sexual connection was good on paper, but when we were actually hooking up, when we were actually getting down to the deed, I couldn't do it. I wasn't into it. However, the other times we made out, it was unbelievable. The connection was intense and I loved it. But for some reason, I think it was just all the balls being thrown across the screen for 6 hours straight that really just sent me into a spiral of distaste. We didn't end up, having sex. After that day or that weekend, we kind of slowly started tapering off. I think, he might have felt that, or he listened to my podcast and heard me say that he bored me to tears. One of the two. Don't know, but he kind of bowed out gracefully. Respect. Nothing but respect for that. As that was dying down, the thing with the other new guy was heating up. So just to remind you, this guy that I met, we met the night my ex-boyfriend posted that caption. I was going into a bar to charge my phone. He was going into the bar because he does something with marketing with all these restaurants and bars. So he was going into this bar to like scope it out, not even to go out, just to see why people like it, why it's popular. We both happened to walk up to the bar at the same time. He was on me, white on rice. From there on, it was like a movie. He was all about it. Let me tell you, rewind to when the kid and I were having heated text sex. Me and this new guy, let's call him Baby Shark. Me and Baby Shark. He's 29 and he is quite the entrepreneur. So we'll call him a Baby Shark. Baby Shark and the kid. The kid and I are heating up with sex text. Baby Shark is trying to marry me. Okay. He's bringing me flowers, taking me to my favorite restaurant, really just doing it all, doing everything, telling me how much he likes me. I dare to say he was love bombing. I don't even dare to say it. I say it. He was love bombing me. He was just really liking me. And it was really a breath of fresh air. Like he would call me to talk. He was doing all the things that you'd want to do. And obviously I was having a heated exchange in my text messages. So I wasn't really giving him much attention. Here's the thing about Baby Shark. My friends were also telling me, you don't like this guy. You're forcing yourself to like him because he's giving you attention. And they were correct in that thought process, because I'll tell you why. When they asked me to describe him, this is what I told them, and I'm going to tell you now. This man, I don't know what it was, but when I say this to you, you might know what I'm saying. When he spoke, it just sounded like his mouth was full of water. He sounded like he needed to swallow, if that makes any sense. Like, sometimes when someone's talking and their saliva is sticking from like their front tooth to their bottom tooth, that was like his vibe. Additionally, he's a mouth breather. So much so that I even said to him one night, do you notice that you breathe from your mouth? And he laughed because, I can't control myself. I can't control my fucking mouth. If I notice something about you, maybe I'm autistic. I don't know, undiagnosed. But if I notice something about you, I have to say it. Did you know that you have a giant birthmark on your face? Did you know? Has anyone told you? I'm weird. I just pointed out to him, did you notice that you breathe from your mouth? Why is that? And he told me, I don't know, he got punched in the face or something. Something happened to his nose. Who the fuck knows? Who cares? Something happened to the man's nose. He can't really breathe from his nose anymore. He needs a surgery. Okay, I'll excuse it. It's temporary. And maybe it's the reason for his need to always be swallowing. Also, he's a very loud talker, and like a voice like I've never heard. I don't even know how to describe the way his voice sounds, but it wasn't sexy. When we would cuddle and he would like kind of simmer down, his heart rate would lower, his blood pressure was going down. His voice sounded nice, but casually and in, a group setting publicly, for lack of a better word, obnoxious. I don't know. But again, he really liked me and he was calling me and bringing me flowers. And I was like, you know what? I want to be treated nicely. I'd like to be treated well by someone. Come here, baby shark. Come sit in mama's lap. All right. Tell me about your life. Anywho, after that day with the kid and the football and the dried vagina, that started simmering down. And as that's simmering, me and baby shark are starting to boil. We're starting to heat up. We're going on dates. We're hanging out. He schedules a date with me for the following Monday. Great. Perfect. Calls me on the phone a few times, engaging in text messages, all good. Saturday comes along and he's out with his friends drinking. I'm out with my friends drinking. He's like, are you going to drunk FaceTime me tonight? Like insinuating he wanted me to do it. And I said, yes, of course. Duh. I drunk FaceTime him later in the night. I'm like, I want to come over and cuddle. He says, come over. When are you going to leave? I said, I'm going to leave right now. That was a straight up fucking lie. Here's the thing. I thought in that moment that my friend wanted to leave. My friend Carla and I, maybe like 2 months prior, got in a bit of a tiff because we were out at a bar and I kind of forced her to leave selfishly because I wanted to go and she wasn't ready to leave. So she got mad at me. And so I thought we were going to leave, but then she kind of changed her mind and wanted to stay. So I was like, I'm going to stay out for her. I'm going to still have fun. I'm going to stay out. I didn't communicate that to him because I was fucking drunk. So I didn't communicate that. I kept telling him I was going to leave soon. I think 2 hours went by. He was like, don't even come. Don't even bother. Don't waste your time. This all started around like 11:30 midnight. And then by the time he's telling me off, it's like 1:30 a.m. Then we FaceTime again and he's like, well, I'll see you Monday. I'm mad at you, whatever. But I didn't think it was annoying what I did, but like, whatever. I'm not Lucifer over here. I said I'd come over and cuddle you. And then I didn't because I stayed out with my friend. Get over it. It ain't that serious. Can you hang or can you not hang? The next morning, I text him and I say, hey, sorry about last night. That was really annoying of me. I was drunk. Doesn't respond. 2 or 3 hours go by. He posts on his Instagram story. What does he post? Let me tell you. What this motherfucker posts. He posts a picture of 2 girls, 2 of his women friends. And this is what he says in the text on the story. And this is a direct quote. The most beautiful women in my life, red heart emoji, at blank username. You are the most intellectually complex woman I have ever met, at insert Instagram username. No one makes my heart smile like you do. Okay. Do not sit and tell me that was not intentional. That man, okay, let me readjust. That man did that intentionally. He was hot and heavy all over my dick. Okay. He was sucking me off day after day. And then after I am drunk and say I'm going to come over and then don't within like an hour and a half time span, the next day you take to Instagram and post something so freaking petty. I've never dated a Cancer male. He's a Cancer, but I won't again. My mother's a Cancer and I know her well and I wouldn't date her. Not to be weird, but I wouldn't date a personality type like my mother. We'd drive each other insane. I don't really pay attention to zodiac stuff, but now I'm going to start because it was my first Cancer and it's going to be my freaking last because who does that? What man is pettier? Is it that he's 29 or is it that he's a male Cancer? I don't know. But I'd like to get to the bottom of it because it's disturbing. I had a few options after this. I could have just let it go. I could have moved on with my life, but that ain't me. I'm not that type of girl. I don't move on with my life after something like that. So what I did is I created a photo collage, okay, of all my closest girlfriends. And I posted it to my story and I put a text on top of it and I used the exact verbiage as him. I directly quoted him. Okay. The most beautiful women in my life. You ladies are the most intellectually complex women I have ever met. No one makes my heart smile like you do. Nobody! Especially Baby Shark, you little fucker. And I texted him after he said that and I said, point taken. Guess I'm not seeing you on Monday. Have a nice life. He texts me the next day and he says, sorry, I was watching football all day. Yeah, okay. You were also on fucking Instagram. Let's not be coy. Let's not be coy, you little bitch. Hold on, Carla's calling me. Hello?
Hello?
I'm recording a podcast. You're live on air.
Oh, yay.
What's going on?
There's Marines everywhere, and I feel like I'm in war with men in uniform in the best way possible. You should have been here.
Are you going to enlist in sexual activity?
You know, if I didn't have my period, I may have. I will say something super gross on the podcast right now. You know what I did? I went to the bathroom, and I use a cup. Do you use a cup, Alanna?
No, a tampon.
Well, I use a cup, and I was going to the bathroom, and it plopped out of me, and it was the worst time for it to plop out.
So where did the blood go?
No, it's worse that the cup fell in the toilet, and I wasn't...
Oh, so the cup fell in the toilet, so you have nothing to plug yourself with?
No. I had to put the cup back in, but...
From the toilet?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I mean, I threw it right in the shower, but it was disgusting because I was going to the bath. I had gone to the bathroom already. I was going number 2.
Oh, we're really getting into it.
And I grabbed it from the toilet.
You pushed a little too hard.
I pushed a little too hard, and then all of a sudden I felt something come out of me like a little baby.
Oh, my God. What are you going to name it?
I don't know. It's pink.
Petunia.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. Okay.
Bye. Okay, Carla just gave birth to a beautiful baby period cup. Anyways, let's move on. Thank you, Carla. So, anywho, he said to me, basically, yeah, this isn't going to work out between us. Good luck with everything. Okay, bye, bitch. Like, really? If you can't handle me being too drunk to come over and just like give you a hug, then you can't handle this, bitch. So see you later, alligator. And you know what's funny about him? He told me when we first started talking that he had a girl that he was dating, that he was in love with, take to TikTok after they broke up and made a video about him. And he was like, but it's all not true. Honestly, I think it might all be fucking true. After that experience, you're a little dramatic, dude. That's coming from a drama queen, so well, whatever. So anyways, now I'm totally single. So yeah, that. Okay, here's the other thing. My birthday's coming up. Oh my God. And it just needs to, like, can it stop? Why do I have to age every year? I like what I am right now. I'm the best I've ever looked, the skinniest I've ever been. Let's not add a number to my age. But here we are. This is what I want to say. Being 33 is your Jesus year, as they say. It is your Jesus year because Jesus did his best work in the last 3 years of his life leading up to his death in his 33rd year. In my 33rd year of life, I also died. I was also crucified. I was also nailed down. My blood was shed, okay? I feel, and not to insult anybody or offend, but, you know, if you're offended, then you probably shouldn't be listening to this podcast. I feel that my life aligns with Christ himself, very much so. And I do feel that I have died this year. And I think that turning 34 is my resurrection. I wasn't going to plan anything for my birthday. I'm not really a big birthday person. I usually end up crying on my birthday without fail. But my friends were pressuring me to do something. And so I decided, fuck it. And you know what I decided to do is theme my birthday, which is also out of character for me. And the theme is my resurrection. And I am dressing as Jesus Christ himself. I got a few options, a white situation, dress or two-piece, not sure. I'm going to wear a red shawl. I'm going to have a chalice. I'm going to have little communion wafers to put into people's mouths. I'm going to have people atoning for their sins. I'm going to really embody all that is holy. Okay. And in doing that, I have spent a lot of fucking time. Like my eyes hurt from the amount of time I've spent looking through Amazon. It is very hard to purchase and buy for a Jesus-themed birthday. You'd be surprised. I have not seen one woman dressed as a sexy Jesus. Why? Why is no one dressing as sexy Jesus? Where is everybody? Why are we leaving it just to men to be Jesus? I think Jesus can be sexy, and I think it can be a woman. And so am I setting a trend, or am I about to get canceled? That is the question, and I don't know and I don't care. Being canceled sounds kind of cute. And can you really cancel someone who's not even famous? I don't know. We will find out. I found that Renaissance is a good search. It's very difficult. People aren't theming their events religiously. And I think it's time for a change. You know who does get it right, though, is Dolce & Gabbana. If you search Dolce & Gabbana religious or religion, a lot of really good looks come up. So if anything, that is the theme. You know, I told my friends it's disciple chic. I created a little trailer to get people excited about my birthday. I have a group chat going called The Last Supper. And this is what I said to my friends. I said, hello, if you're on this thread, you've surrendered to a higher power and are partaking in what promises to be a religious experience. Whether you're attending the Last Supper or joining later in hymns, I feel so blessed that you are attending. In many ways, my 33rd year has aligned with the life of Christ. To pay homage, I'll be dressing as Jesus Christ himself. This night is the closing ceremony of my Jesus year and celebrates my resurrection after facing crucifixion. Figuratively, of course. Feel free to wear whatever you'd like, but it is my hope that you might consider dressing as a disciple. Check out the picture I'd like to recreate. Even if you opt for something simple, bringing a colored scarf, not red, because that is reserved for Jesus, would contribute to recreating this photo of biblical proportions. I've included some inspiration images, no pressure to dress in theme at all. The most important thing to me is your presence, but if you enjoy a theme, please indulge yourself. I certainly will be. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Is that in poor taste? I don't know, but you know, I'm Catholic, so I'm in the community, and I feel that because I'm a member, I'm allowed. And if I'm not, then I'm not. And, you know, it is what it is. And I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. The other thing I'd like to talk about, I have a tendency to date white men who, and not all white people are like this. I'm Italian and other things, who knows, but I wasn't raised in like what you would consider like a white household. You know, we use seasoning. Garlic was always in the house. Onions. We make good food. The things that Italians align with, their culture and how they treat people in their family, very much is outside of like the typical Wonder Bread type white family. That is to say, I have had to suffer through many bland Thanksgivings due to love of a tall white man, several in my past. And there's nothing more disappointing than for months of your relationship hearing how amazing this man's mother's meatloaf is. And then when it finally gets down to business and you put that piece of meat in your mouth and you find that there's not a season to be found, there's nothing more disappointing. When you're hosting a holiday event and you have these people coming and everyone's bringing a dish, assign them to something you're not excited about. It's my advice, you know. Don't give them the sweet potato casserole if that's your favorite dish. Happened to me, really, really ruined a holiday for me multiple times. I'll tell you about one time I was, my family's fucking crazy and they're loud and they're wild and they say whatever comes to their mind. I mean, one Thanksgiving I was single and I was sitting there. My aunt turned to me and said, "Are you gay?" Just straight up asked me if I was a lesbian, just out of nowhere, on a whim, right in front of grandma. If I was a lesbian, is now the appropriate time? Is now the appropriate time? Aunt Lizzie. I love you, Aunt Lizzie. She's my favorite aunt. She's a riot. She's funny as fuck. But is now the time? There's no filter there. Okay. If you're gay and they're wondering, they're going to ask you in front of a group of people. It's not a big deal. They just want to know. I'm not gay. If I was, I would have come out by now. I wish I was gay because I hate men. And, women aren't that great either. I don't really like anybody. Maybe I'm an asexual. No, that's not true. I don't know what I am. I'm just a crazy bitch. Anyways, funny. That was many, many, many years ago. But point is, people are fighting at Thanksgiving. Someone's yelling at the other person because of a Santa suit. People are wondering why, this person got to bring the salad and they had to bring the artichoke dip. There's always a conflict. It's like, is this person, am I even invited? to Christmas? Who did I offend this year? It's really between the aunts. My mom's one of 5 women. And there's a lot of female cousins. So as you can imagine, it's very loud. There's a lot of drama, but it is the time of your life and you wouldn't change it for anything. I mean, even this year, it's like, where are we going? This person's fighting with this person doesn't like that person. There's a whole little TikTok war going on between me and my cousin over food. I mean, there's a lot of things happening. So even this year, and it's exciting, it's thrilling. I'm on the edge of my seat. What's going to happen? It's like its own little fucking show and I love it. Anyways, one Christmas, I agreed to attend my white boyfriend's family Christmas. We flew there and I ended up crying upstairs because I was bored to fucking tears. They're the type of family where before we eat, we have a little, we sit down in the parlor room, we have a drink and we eat cheese and we discuss world politics and the news and things. And then we do a company move to the table where everything is nicely plated and beautiful. And don't get me wrong, my mom does things like that all the time. People in my family do that. I love a tablescape. But my family Christmas Eve and Christmas, it is like a fucking jungle, okay? There's paper plates. There's trays of the best food you'll ever have in your life. People are pulling each other's hair. They're fighting over lottery tickets. There's a extremely intense white elephant game being played, and someone might die. Someone might get punched. You're not leaving my Christmas Eve without a fist being thrown, someone crying, canoodling in a corner, talking shit about somebody's husband or, someone baby, or why can't they get pregnant? Is there something wrong? Why can't they get pregnant? There's always something, and it's fun and it's exciting, and we're just little shit talkers, and it's a great time. And I just could not take it over there, and their food was just whatever. And you can't say a peep about it. You just have to pretend. And I ended up going upstairs and crying. My ex-boyfriend came up there, my boyfriend at the time, and he was like, "Why are you crying?" And I just said, "I miss my family." And he literally said that, I'm not even kidding. He's like, "I feel so bad." He apologized that his family was so boring and said that we would, in that moment said we would just go to my family's holidays from then on out, and that he wanted to have like a family like that with us, like a loud family, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's a million reasons why I didn't stay with that man. I mean, that was very sweet of him. He was a kind man. I hope he finds love and happiness, not with me, but with somebody else. Great guy, just not for me. You know how they say. But he even understood because he's been to my family's, he knows the vibe, and it's not his is not the vibe. It's not the vibe. So that is to say that I will no longer be giving up my family holidays for a man because, who knows how many are left. And, it's already, my grandma passed away. Things are weird. It's not like it used to be. And I don't want to sacrifice that ever again. I don't want to have to eat someone's poorly baked meatloaf or bland turkey or their vegan sweet potato casserole. I just don't want to do that. And I don't think I need to. There's a lot of sacrifices I make in life, and that's just one I won't. That is what I have to say about the holidays. And so for anyone listening who's dating somebody, the holidays are coming up and you're trying to decide, do I go to their Thanksgiving? Do I go to mine? Do I go to their Christmas? Do I go to mine? This is my advice. If you are not married to this person, go to your family gathering. Do not go to theirs. You can hang out with their family any other time. Maybe you can go after yours, but prioritize yourself, prioritize your family, because you don't know how many more of those events you're going to have. You don't know if everyone who's there is going to be there the next year. You don't want to miss out on those events. Like, these are the people that you grew up with, whether they're good people, whether they're bad people, it doesn't matter. It's your family, and that's where you should be. I didn't have the best upbringing. There's a lot of things, but I'm never again going to sacrifice that. Like I've said before, my mom's not doing well. My grandma passed away. My dad's dead. My grandpa passed away a long, long time ago. My grandparents on my dad's side are both dead. We're losing people over here. People are dropping like flies. So I really gotta prioritize my family. And when I'm married, then we can start our own family. But that is just to tell anyone who's younger and listening, or it doesn't even matter your age. Like, you gotta put you first and your family first. And that is what I have to say about that. This is the last thing I'm going to say on this episode. So everything I said in the past 2 episodes, that 2-parter, regarding the women involved with my ex, I tried to be as tasteful as I could. I definitely left out details that probably could have made them not look so great, because I'm not trying to hurt any women involved. This isn't about them, and it's not their fault. All this to say, if anyone who was involved is not happy with me or what I said, or feels that I'm hurting them in any way or retaliating, that just could not be further from the truth. And this isn't to be mean, but they were just pawns in this game of chess between he and I. It was me and my ex-boyfriend at the table with the chessboard, and they were just pawns being used as we battled each other. So how can you be mad at a single piece of plastic? Like, you literally are insignificant. And like, I'm just being honest. It has nothing to do with you. You were just like a player you weren't even a player in the game. You were like an NPC, and he and I were the players in this game we were playing. So you could have been anybody, and there's nothing personal. And I say that to say, because, a lot of these women, and there are other women, a lot of who I didn't even mention, because it's just too much, that had nothing to do with the show. And the show I'm discussing. But what I'm saying is specifically in regards to the women who were on the show, who I discussed in that podcast episode. And I think it could be easy for them to assume or think that during the time of the show that I used my power as a producer to manipulate certain situations or to hurt them because I was mad at them or, had something against them. Couldn't be further from the truth. As a reality show producer, and I say that very broadly for every show I've ever worked on, my priority is producing and creating the best and most entertaining show possible by whatever means necessary. That is what I'm being paid to do. I'm not being paid to be somebody's friend. I'm not being paid for anything but to create the best story, to tell a story the best way I can. And it goes for a documentary as well, or a documentary series, anything. So I, at one point, tried to make a documentary about my dad, and this was so long ago. This was, right when I started becoming a producer, I was like, my dad, and this is a story for another time. He was a con artist, a very interesting man, got away with a lot of things in his life, very smart guy, really ahead of his time. And he was just interesting. So I was trying to do a documentary on him, and I really wanted to, this is where I've learned these lessons. So you understand my school of belief and how I operate as a producer and a writer and a storyteller when I'm dealing with real life situations, unscripted situations. When I was producing this documentary on my dad, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to put my face in it at all. It's just going to be about my dad. I'm horrible in front of the camera. I don't want anything of me in it. It's just going to be about this man. Who is this guy? And as I started filming it, and that obviously started to change. I started putting myself on there because I had to. It's like it turned into me, the daughter of this man. I haven't spoken to my dad in 10 years. I'm trying to reconnect with him because I found out he had cancer, and I want answers. Why did you con all these people? Why did you leave my mom? Why did you abandon us? Why all these things? So it was like this journey to go reconnect with him and do all that. And in doing that, I sacrificed a lot and had to edit a lot. I never released it because it was just too personal. And it's my family, and I cared about too many people to say and talk about and do certain things, and it affected the production and the quality of the work. Another thing about that is, like, during that time, it was before my sister got lip filler, so she just had a sliver going on the mouth. She wasn't blessed with the little the luscious lips that I got. She won't say this, but we all know it's true. She doesn't want me to put it out there because she thinks she looks like shit. So you got things like that. This is just an example of why there is a separation between the subjects that are being filmed and the producers. Because you have to remove yourself emotionally in order to tell the best version of the story that's happening in front of you. If I'm going back to the season of Doom, I was with what you would consider to be the villain. She's not a villain. I love this person. She's hilarious as hell. But what the audience perceived is that she had moments with a lot of people. not just the people who were involved with my ex-boyfriend. And you could say, you could assume, you could think I was the quote unquote puppeteer. I was her person. Her and I were working together. I was advising her. I was helping her navigate how to be on television and just do what she's doing. And it's easy to think that it was me who targeted specific people, but it wasn't. Couldn't be further from the truth. As I do on any show, whatever the reality is, whatever is really happening is the story that is followed. So there were other people that this person was involved with on the show. There were other people she conflicted with that had no relations, had not even nothing that my ex-boyfriend even told me about, like nothing uncomfortable with them at all. Additionally, I will say all of the flashing and threesome stuff, that didn't even happen until after the quote unquote villain was sent home. So all the things that transpired with her and other people was before I even knew about anything, because I was so busy, because she was involved in so many things and there were so many interviews. I was so busy with her that he didn't tell me any of the stuff that was going on. So it wasn't until after she left where I learned about this stuff. And the other thing is, going to the stage show that I discussed in those episodes, I just want to clear this up so you understand that I'm doing my job, is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm doing my job in telling a story. It's nothing personal. Listen. Okay, here's the thing. I was a reality show producer. Okay. It's nothing personal. If there's a story, I'm going to tell it. I don't care if I'm your friend. I don't care if I'm your enemy. It has nothing to do with you and I's relationship. I am a producer. I am being paid to do a job, which is tell the story of what is happening. Another example, a therapist. Okay. You pay a therapist to sit and listen to your freaking stupid ass problems. Okay. And they tell you what's wrong with you or give you a prescription, whatever. I don't know what your relationship is with your therapist. Okay. You go and do that. The therapist is not your friend. Okay. The therapist probably goes home to their husband or wife and says, that person is batshit crazy. Okay. HIPAA, my asshole. You know, those doctors are going home and doing pillow talk and talking about your crazy ass. Okay. They're not your friend. However, when I'm off the clock and I'm not being paid to produce a television show, I will be your friend. That is different. That is a different Alanna, because that Alanna is living her life and being a human being. But when I am on a show, and there needs to be a mutual understanding, you are here to have me document your life. Okay. And I am here to do that job the best way I can, the most accurate way I can, the most truthful way I can with what's really happening. Outside of the show, any show I work on, I can be your friend, I can be your enemy, I can be whatever, I can be a person. But when I am there, I'm working as a doctor. Okay, I'm working as a doctor. All right. I'm there to do a job. I'm there to see what's wrong. Okay. Or, check on you, do what I need to do, and then get my paycheck. And I love it. And going back to what I said in those other episodes, the reason why my ex and I didn't come out as being in a relationship for so long was because we didn't want to sacrifice our careers, because our careers, and now I'm speaking about me, my career is extremely important to me. Not necessarily in reality television, but in general, I love to create. I love to write. I love to express myself. I have done for the past 10 years, I've done that through television, through creating television shows. And now I'm doing it through a microphone and through social media. To me, it's the same thing, because I'm still creating and I'm still doing something. I get the same satisfaction from doing this as I did on the show. So to me, it's all under the same umbrella. But this takes precedent to me over anything. If you do something, nothing I did on the show as an employee or any show I've been employed on was ever personal. It was just me doing my job, telling the best story possible, because that's what you sign up for. If you didn't know that, I'll tell you now, if you sign up for a reality show, you're agreeing to be filmed. And you're agreeing to share your life and share your experience. And you should do that in the most honest way possible, because otherwise people don't care and they're not going to watch. Like and I tell this to people all the time, anyone that I work with, I'm like, if you want to be successful in reality or in anything, you need to be honest. You can't come in here thinking about Instagram or Facebook or thinking about, I don't know why I said Facebook. Who's fucking thinking about Facebook? MySpace? Like, you can't come in here thinking about how people are going to perceive you, is my point. You need to come in here and be the most authentic person you can be. And you need to totally enrich yourself in this experience. You need to give these people a chance. You need to open yourself up. You need to forget there's cameras. You need to, as best you can, be in the moment. Think about the present, not the future, not the past. Think about the right now. And that is how you will be successful in every way. It will give you the best opportunity to have a connection, the best opportunity to, engage with people that you're filming with, or not engage with them. It could lead to drama. And if it does, then you go with it. You got to go with whatever is happening. And that's it. Every show is different. You go into every experience with cast members differently, or, the people on screen, whatever you want to call them, the talent. Okay. I had to cut real quick because a friend of mine called and I had been peer pressuring him to call me for weeks. But point of the story, I made my point. I need not say more. Nothing I ever produced on that show or any show has ever had any malicious intent whatsoever. If you happen to fuck my boyfriend and you also were involved in drama, that was just pure coincidence, and perhaps maybe look within. I don't know what else to tell you. Anyways, thank you for listening to Recipe for Crazy. We are going to go back to listeners' calls next episode, so please dial into the phone number. It's on my Instagram story. You can find it there. And I love ya. God bless ya. Mwah.